Welcome back to Serger Tip Clips. I had an email a few days ago from a woman who wanted to make some baby clothes for a friend who just had a baby. And she was a little bit concerned about overlocking the seams with regular serger cone thread. She wondered whether or not that would be a little bit too scratchy on a newborn skin. And I suggested using woolly nylon, both in the loopers and the needle. And I wanted to show you today that you can do that and how to thread a needle and the loopers with it. If you've never used woolly nylon or woolly polyester before, it's a light, fluffy thread that has a lot of stretch and give to it, and it's very soft. So it's a great thread to use if you like to make children's clothes, baby clothes, even lingerie items and swimsuit items are great for it. Anything that's close to the skin and in a sensitive area you can get a little bit of scratchiness sometimes from seams. But the woolly nylon or woolly polyester, one or the other, works very well to prevent this type of chafing. And the difference between the woolly nylon and polyester is that woolly nylon has a low melting point. So my little advice, if you choose to use that, is make sure that when you go to press whatever you're using it on, check the temperature of your iron, because it is easy to melt. And I would suggest putting a press cloth over it. Woolly polyester also can melt, but it has a higher melting point than the woolly nylon. So either one is a great product to use. It's just a matter of what you prefer and what you like to use for it. So let's go to the machine and see how we can get that through the eye of the needle as well as the eyes of the upper and lower looper. Let's take a look at how to actually thread your needle and loopers with the woolly nylon. Because of its fluffy texture, it really needs a little help to get through these tiny spots. But one thing I did was I put in a top stitch needle and I took the foot off because I thought you could see the eye more clearly against the white of the machine in back of it. And the length of the eye is longer. You can tell the difference between this and a universal or an EL X705 needle. And I've got a piece of serger cone thread that's long. It's probably about 2 feet long. And I've folded it in half and I'm putting the two cut ends through the eye of the needle first. And I'm going to try to be careful so that you don't just see the back of my hand. I'm going to do the best I can. So those are both ends are through. So I'm going to pull that along, and the other end of it creates a loop, and that acts like a little lasso for my serger cone or for my woolly nylon. So I've got that. Here's my little loop, and actually a little bit of thread dust on it. But anyway, so I am going to thread up. And I have my leftover lock needle in. This is a woolly nylon. It's a hot pink color, and I have all different shades of pink in for the needles and the loopers. And you can see how fluffy and light it is. So you'd never get that through on its own through the eye of the needle. So I'm just going to pop that through my little loop or lasso on this, and that will pull it through without any trouble at all. So now my needle is all threaded with the woolly nylon, and let's go to the loopers next. I'm going to put the cut ends into the threading part. I'm going to try it with my left hand so that you can see. I'm a righty, so we'll see how successful this is. And just pop those down. Whoops. And this is exactly what happens when you don't hang on to the thread. It flies all the way through, and you have to hold on to the other end of it. So let's try that again. Let's get it hovered over. Okay, and this time I'm going to hold on to my threading lasso. So here is my loop. I'm going to pull my woolly nylon or woolly polyester down, pop it through the little lasso, and I'm pulling it. Let me just move the camera over a little bit so that you can see I'm pulling it right through. You can see it going through the looper right here. And here it is out the eye of the upper looper. So that is all set. I have the cut ends of my lasso in here, and I am bringing that through the port for the lower looper. And again, let me move the camera over just to the left a little bit more so you can see that coming out the eye of the lower looper, which is right here. Just popping through a little bit. I think I'm going to need my tweezers to pull the end of that. Yep, here it is. Okay, and I will get my thread into the lasso. Let me pull enough length though so it goes all the way through the eye of the looper. And super easy. So all three areas are all threaded up. I have the woolly nylon in my needle, upper looper and lower looper. And let's stitch that out on some knit fabric and see how much give it has. I think it'll give you a very nice, stretchy, and durable stitch. So I'm going to disengage my threading tubes, close up shop, and I'll be right back. To test this out, I just went in a crosswise direction on the silk knit. And when I tested the amount of give crosswise on this fabric, it's about 80%, so it's pretty stretchy. And I have the woolly nylon in my needle, upper and lower looper. And you can see, even when I stretch this pretty hard, none of the threads are popping or giving. So keep that in mind if you need a stitch with a lot of resilience for stretch. Thanks for joining me today. And if you have any questions about woolly nylon or woolly polyester, be sure to send them along. I'll be happy to hear from you. See you again soon. Happy sewing and serging.